Okay. Die Hand verlegt auf den Vater, guckt die Rebbetzin auf den Mann, auf verdeigete und schockelt sich. Auf sein Cheshben, so with her hands folded on her apron, the Rebbetzin looked at her husband in a worried fashion, and she schockelt sich, and she moved around. I don't know.
Shakes herself. Chocolate. Shake.
Yeah, shook herself. Yeah, on his account. Meint verder, als sein Schmeichele scheint von Wilne bis Damir. Und der Rosh Yeshiva wird ihm treuen auf ein Wort. Does he imagines surely that his little smile shines from Vilna right to Mir, and that the Rosh Yeshiva will accept his word. Andere rabbonische Kinder leben auf Cheshben von Yeshiva. Is favos passt ihm nicht, als euch sein Sohn soll kriegen Chalukah. So other children, rabbis' children, live on the account of the yeshiva, or their expenses are paid by the yeshiva. So why shouldn't he also be able to get funds from the community? Schreiben zum Rosh Yeshiva, as das is a halvoa, is keinmal nicht und keinmal nicht abgeben is schöner. So to write to the Rosh Yeshiva that this is a loan that will never be repaid, is that better? Und für was darf man halten für die jüngere Engelach am Melamed, weil sie wollten gekannt lernen in Ramaylas Yeshiva? And why should they have, for the younger boys, have a special Melamed for them, when they could actually study in the Ramayla Yeshiva? Und für was will Adams dafke größer Wohllerner, weil weiß, als hat nicht keine viele, keine viele für darunter dicke Adams. And why should does he Dafka want to have sons-in-law who are yeshiva, good yeshiva students, while he knows that he has no dowry even for, and I couldn't find the word darunter dika.
Inferior.
Oh, okay.
Have, another dowry for an inferior son-in-law.
Son-in-law. Yeah. Okay. I couldn't establish what that was. Okay, fine. Thanks.
It was in my dictionary. I didn't know the word.
Yeah, I couldn't find it in the dictionary. Yeah. Okay. Kein Balabos hat nicht so wenig derech Eretz für Rov wie sein eigene Rebbetzin, entfört ihr Shmuel Moinia. Ein Teretz auf alle ihre Kasches und entläuft von Stub. So no householder has as little respect for a rabbi than his own wife, answers Shmuel Munya, and is with one excuse for all her questions, and he runs out of the house. Reb Shmuel Munya hat kein Mal nicht kein Zeit. So Reb Shmuel Munya has never got any time. Führt die Politiker von Vad Harabonim, von Vad Hayeshivas, von die Achdusnikes und euch von die Agudenikes. And he runs the politics of the Rabbinic Council, the Council of the Yeshivas, the unions, and also of the Aguda, members of the Aguda, which is the ultra-Orthodox faction. Ist es der ganze Redelführer auf die Größe Asefes von litwischer Rabbonim, bis der Saal ist belagert mit Balabatim, wo Stuppen sich angucken, die zu neu gefrorene Talmidei Chachomim. Wie jeden haben sich gestuppt, verzeitens in Häuf von Beis HaMikdash angucken die Sanhedrin. So he is the ringleader of a real ringleader in all the big meetings of the Lithuanian Rabbonim. At the time when the hall is besieged with householders who press themselves to get a look at all the Talmidei Chachomim, the scholars who have traveled together to the place, to Vilna, like the Jews used to press in ancient times in the yard of the temple in order to see the Sanhedrin. Obenon, auf der Rasefe sitzen hohe breitplätzige Jiden mit gewölbte Größe Sterns, mit ungerückte Bremen wie die Bervenes, mit Bert die Wolkens und Augen wie Blitzen. Even on, right in the front of the meeting, there sit the tall, broad-shouldered Jews with vaulted, big foreheads, with their eyebrows, which are frowning eyebrows, like beams, and with beards like clouds, and with eyes like lightning. Nicht einmal bricht euch zwischen die Rabbonim Sichsuch, und es sieht euch wie alte Dembeswolken geflackert. And quite frequently, or not once, there breaks out a conflict between the rabbis, and it looks like as if the old oak trees would have geflackert. It's like waving like a flag. Men schluckt sich nicht etwas dort mit wörtlich von Mussers vormlich und mit breklich ein Jakob. So they, it's as if they hit one another there with sayings from the Musar books and with bits and pieces from Ein Yaakov, which is really a collection of commentaries on the Talmud. Mit größer Wilne Schasgemoris schluckt man sich. Mit Sticker Chöschen Mischpet und mit einer ist man einer die andere mechabet. And with big Vilna Talmud Gemorahs, they beat one another figuratively, quoting bits of the Choshen Mishpat, and they honor one another with bits of the Choshen Mishpat. The Choshen Mishpat is one of the four sections of the Arba Turim, which is one of the first compendiums of the laws of the Talmud. And it was written by Rabbi Yaakov ben Asher, one of the first codifiers of the halacha. Es seht euch, als die Wend wollen sich bald ausbeugen, aber Skol von Himmel wird sich hereinmischen und sagen, wer von die Gedeule hat teure ist gerecht. And it seems as if the walls of the walls will soon bend outwards, and a small voice from heaven will mix in and say which of the great Torah scholars is right. Es verschmeckt mit der Machloikes von Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkenes und seine Chaverim die Tanoim. And it's reminiscent of the arguments between Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkenes and his comrades, the other Tanoim, scholars of the Mishnah. Kleinstädtische Rabbonim, nicht von die ausgeklungene, tappen sich die lange Peis und murmeln verzitterte. So the small town rabbis, not ones whose opinions ring out, they touch their long payers and they mumble in fear and trembling. Mina shamayim nilchemu hakoichavim mimesilosam. So this is a quote from Shoftim, the Song of Deborah. The stars fought from the heavens, and from their courses they fought against Sisera. Die Welt wird sich bald überkehren. The world will soon turn upside down. Und mit die aller Asefes dreht es Reb Shmuel Munja, der Mora Hora von Gläsergas. Chotsch ihm allein sieht man lechalutin nicht an. Ist keinmal nicht der Yoshev Rosh und die Rabbonim auf der Aseife stellen sich viele nicht auf vor ihm. And around all of these meetings, Reb Shmuel Munya fusses around. He is one of the Rabbonim, one of the scholars of the Glazier Street. But they never, even though he himself is never seen he's never seen there. He's never the chairman of the meeting, and the rabbis don't even stand up for him when they see him. Wer redt in Vilna Gufa, wird sich an ihm kein Sach von Ort nicht rühren, von der Chassene bis der Levaya. So that's not even talking about Vilna itself, where nothing happens, nothing moves in the city, from a wedding to a funeral. Auf a rabbonische Chassene schuschket ein dem Avi Hakala, wenn man von die Orchim, man soll unter der Chuppe mechabed sein mit der erste Broche und wenn man mit der zweite Broche. So at a rabbinic wedding, he whispers to the father of the bride, who among the visitors under the chuppah should be honored with saying the first brocha, and who should say the second brocha. Wenn man soll noch der chuppah sitzen rechts von Chossen und wenn man links von Chossen, and who after the chuppah should sit on the right-hand side of the chosen and who should sit on the left. Starbt an Adam Godel und Rabbonim formen sich zusammen auf der Levaya, führt Reb Shmuel Munya die Politiker, wer von die Orchim soll dem Nifter Maspid sein in Stadtschul. Wer es soll ihm noch sagen Schwochim auf ein Schulhof, wer auf ein Feld, fahr der Tare, noch der Tare, und wer es soll bleiben mit sein zugegräten Hesped ausgestellt, a Wort nicht reden. So if a well-known an important man should die, and the rabbis come together to be at the funeral, Reb Shmuel Munya, he organizes the political matters. Who among the visitors should give a hesped, can't think of the word.
Eulogy.
A eulogy, should give a eulogy in the city shul, who should recall the merits his merits in the shul yard, and who on the cemetery before the Tara takes place, the preparing of the body, and who after the preparation of the body, and who should remain with his prepared eulogy ausgestellt, sidelined and not be able to say a word. Niet ein Talmid Chochem, was kommt von Merchokim, auf a Chasana oder a Levaya, bleibt Reb Shmuel Moinien Adam Soine auf dem ganzen Leben. So there's not only one scholar who has come from a distance to a wedding or to a funeral, who remains a mortal enemy of Reb Moinia for the rest of his life. Aber ihm eilt es nicht. Eilt sich ständig auf a Seifes mit a Schmeichel auf die Lippen. But he doesn't care about that. He rushes constantly at the meetings with a smile on his lips. Und sein Schmeichele liegt so viel, in sein Schmeichele liegt so viel Bittel, als etliche fehlt Bechush. Reb Shmuel Monia is im Mevatel geoffre de Ara, wie Chametz Pesach. And his little smile in his little smile is so much disdain that everybody feels that Reb Shmuel Munya, as if Reb Shmuel Munya annuls them like the dust of the earth, like chometz during Pesach. Wegen was man soll nicht schmusen, teinet Reb Shmuel Munya als Punkt, in dem ist der größte Jaden und größte Bar Samche. So whatever they are talking about, Reb Shmuel Munya claims that he himself is the biggest one who knows the most and the greatest authority. Tomer is a Sheles Noshim, glet Reb Shmuel Munya sein weißer Bord und eitzet die andere Meure heraus, man soll sich mit ihm nicht dingen. So if there's a question about women, Reb Shmuel Munya strokes his white beard and he advises the rest of these rabbis who can paskin, who can give rabbinic decisions, that they shouldn't haggle with him. Verlost sich auf mir, sis mein Mikzoya. You can rely on me, it's my job. Fällt rein in Boine und man bloßt die Lungen von einer Beheme, tut a Cook und paskend gleich ob. Verlost sich auf mir, sis mein Mikzoya. So if he goes into the abattoirs and where they're blowing the lungs of an animal, he has a look and immediately he takes a halachic decision. And he says, you can rely on me, it's my job. Afile Erev Sukkos, wenn städtische Rabbonim stehen in a Geschäft und tappen Esroigim Lulovim, nimmt Reb Shmuel Munya beutig sein mit groß Genitschaft die Spitzen von die Lulovim und is Geuser, Meister Noller Rov, nimmt ot dem. And when it comes Sukkot time, and the village rabbis are standing in a shop and they're fingering the etrogim, the citrons, and the lulavs, Reb Shmuel Munya starts checking with great skill the points of the lulav, and he decrees Maisa Nola Rob. I couldn't find that what that meant. Michael, do you know?
No idea.
No. So maybe it's rely on me. Take this one. By Sir Golarov, nimmt jenem. So it could be somebody from it comes from Meiser Gol, and this is by Sir Golar. I don't know. The rabbi from this place take this one, and rabbi from that place take that one.
Sounds right. Sounds right.
Verlossig auf mir, es ist mein Mikzoa. You can rely on me, it's my job. Die Rabbonim Chalischen im Fragen sind, wenn is is in als Azabaki, and the rabbis are dying to ask him, since when are you such an expert in everything? But they keep quiet. Nimmt doch keinmal kein Sefer in hand nicht. He never takes a religious book into his hands. So how can he be such an expert? Die Zinger beißen sie, nor sie halten sich ein. They bite their tongues and they restrain themselves, die Rabbonim, the rabbis. Is fort Wilner Moira Hora. Is fort der Redelführer von Vad HaRabbonim. See, he's nevertheless, he is the Vilna Moira Hora, the one who is competent to make halachic decisions. He is nevertheless the ringleader of the rabbinic council. Der Einziger, was wird für ihm nicht nispail, is Reb Levi Horowitz. And the only one who's not impressed by him is Reb Levi Horowitz. Wenn Reb Shmuel Munya hebt on, verlotzach ab mir, schneit ihm Reb Levi op. Our Mikzoa is politica. So when Reb Shmuel Munya starts saying, you can rely on me, Reb Levi cuts him off and says, your job is politics. Reb Shmuel Munya entfert nicht. And Reb Shmuel Munya doesn't answer. Nor schmeichelt on jummert die Augen, but he smiles and he blinks his eyes. Lo amar klum. I didn't say a word. Reb Levi hat gar nicht gesagt und ich hab gar nicht gehört. Reb Levi didn't say a word and I didn't hear anything. Okay, Michael.
Zijn goldenem karakter op mooi zijn twee Töchter. His two daughters also have his golden character. Hitler, mal wenn sie Herren, als eine von seinen Charakters is geboren nach Kalle, they, each one of them, when they hear that one of their friends have become a bride, schmeicheln sie mit verschmurrten Augen. They laugh with blinking eyes. Wenn man nicht eins gesagt, nimmt sie sehr Chaberte, who sadly, Mistein's gesagt, what a pity, is my friend taking. Der ältere Sohn is noch aggressorer Vater wie der Tata. The older son is even a bigger, making nothing of others as his father. In seine Chidushim, was schreibt in his news that he writes home, lacht sich kodem kol ois von Zendling Acharonim und erster noch verendigt Nivestik und soll ihm schicken Geld. In his news that he writes home, he mocks the first of all, at the tens of later scholars, and after that, he ends his letter humbly that they should send him money. I feel that it's very younger about Bochum, even the two younger boys, was learned by Boris in Gons Cloys, who are learning with the recluse in the Gons chapel, fragen op als was Malamed zogt zij dort, dismiss or question everything that their teacher tells them there. Die einzige in Rab Shmuel Munia's Mishpocha was his developed Nitnavatel, the only one in Shmuel Munia's family who does not look down at the world, is Zaina Rebbetzin, is his wife. Was mehrere Mann und die Töchter sprechen mit verschmurte Augen, verschmurte Augen. The more her husband and the daughters laugh with their blinking eyes, als mehr wird von ihm ausgeloschen und die Plätze gehäukert. All the more her face becomes paler, switched off, and her shoulders more hunched. Jetzt läuft Rab Shmuel Munier zum Beit Din, was dort mispeten dem Polotsker. Now Rab Shmuel Munier is running to the Beit Din, where they are judging the Polotsker Dayan. Nor sein Moch tropt mit wichtiger Inyanim, but his head is full of important matters. When darf zu Neufruf Magroisa Sifa, they have to call together a large gathering. Hat gehört am meisten Neura, als der Wilner Rabbiner, der Ruboker Rov, der Eishischer Rov und noch andere Rabbonim Mizrachim will machen an eigene Shiva. He has heard some bad news that the Vilna rabbi, the Galub Boker rabbi, the Eishishker rabbi, and other rabbis of the Mizrahi want to establish their own yeshiva. The Mizrahi like Tanan as independent yeshivas. Sorry?
Michael, this word rabbiner, it's different from a rov.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Is like not as
government rabbi.
Either a government rabbi, but a rabbi who is not part of the strictly Orthodox section of the community.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, it's also a government rabbi, but I agree with you. The Mizrahi like Tannen, as in the Heintige Yeshiva sign and Allah, the Mizrahi people are complaining that in today's yeshivas, everyone, from the youngster Varzichnikas, bis zu die Rosh Yeshivas, Hoila Agudanikas, that in today's yeshiva, all from the youngest, and I don't know what Varzichnikas is. Any idea, Yaakov? Varzichnikas.
Yeah, the Talmud scholars who study on their own.
Farzich.
Farzichnik.
Farzich, yeah, thank you. Those who study on their own, and up to the heads of the yeshiva, they're all belonging to the Aguda. Kum Forna Ben Torah Nitkein Agudanik, when a scholar comes who's not an Agudanik, macht man ihm eng die Welt, bis muss ankleufen. They are hostile to him until he has to run away, until he has to leave. Schon opgeret, als die Rosh Yeshivas will nicht geben, kein Adams bei die Rabbonim von Mizrahi. So it goes without saying that the heads of the yeshiva do not want to give son-in-laws to the rabbis of Mizrahi. Zoitanen der Ruboker Rov und der Eishische Rov. This is the complaint of the rabbi from Grubok and Aishish. Stutim, what is that? What's Stutim, do you know?
It is absurdity, rubbish, nonsense.
Oh, Stut, yeah. Absurdity. What is that? Here he is, Rabbi Shmuel Munir, a manhig in der Aguda, und what euch nicht kein Adams. Here is Rabbi Shmuel Munir, a leader in the Aguda, and he also has no son-in-laws. Man hat ihm zugeschickt, Sav Rabbonas von Levon Neshok, und man hat ihm euch zugeschickt, Sav Rabbonas von Bashil Neshok. They have sent him, what's a Sav Rabbonas?
A rabbinic document to be the rabbi of the town.
To be a rabbi of the town. They've invited him to be a rabbi of the town in these two places. Where should he go? In Levonashok wird sein einer. In Levonashok he will be one. There's in Shilashok is schon Doarov, und sie wollen dort müssen sein, auf zweit. While in Lovishok, there is already a rabbi, so there would have to be two. Shilashok is viermal größer than Levonashok. Shilashok is 4 times bigger than Levonashok. Sie ist aber gleicher machen Kiddush auf noch nicht ungerührt Chalala. It's easier to make Kiddush on an untouched challah, either of a größer zerschnittener challah, rather than on a challah that has already been cut. Blight taste is Levonashok, therefore Levonashok is better. Chayona better dort open the Rebbe, you will have a good income there. Wenn es schon lang Zeit Kassene machen, wenn es ist schon lang Zeit Kassene machen, die Täter, and it's already time, a long time, that his daughters should have been married off. Auszahlen die Chäubers und haben Menucha von seinen Rebbetzen, was geht ihm noch mit gestorben von ihm. And he will pay out his debts and have peace from his wife, who follows him with a dead face, with a sad face. Zurika Schwurst is Levonashok a Städteler Kenner von kleinem Tet in Katonti. thinking it over and talking it over, the Wonashop is a little town that is smaller than the Tet in I Am Small. When we can avec worden from Vilna, and how can he go, how can he leave Vilna? Weret onvierden mitten vaad haraponim, who will organize the rabbinical committee mitten vaad hayeshivas, and the yeshiva committee mitten vaad kashrus, the kosher meat committee, with the andere vadim and with the other committees. The Bonner Shop, Siddur Shop, IC Shop, Buhoter Door, Farblonjet. With all these three places, which are unpronounceable, where has he wandered off to? Von Gläsergas in Beit Dinstibel, what wat afgaan durch Breitergas. From Glacier Street to the chapel of the Beis Din, he had to go through the Broad Street, durch Deutscher Gas, to German Street, and vorbei Trocker and past Trocker, durch Wilner Gas, through Wilner Street. Is there Vorabek durch Goyensgas? So he went through the Gaon Street, durch up to vorbei the Gärtner. After that, up and past the gardeners, the cloisters, the monasteries, when he's rausgekommen auf Mickiewicz and came out finally to Mickiewicz Street, wo man sieht nicht kein Yiddish poem, where you don't see a Jewish face, Rabgoische Parzufim mit verdrehter britischer Bonzes, only Gentile faces with turned up, or its lordly whiskers. They gucken auf sein langer Kapotte und drehen mit den Näs. They see his long Kapotte and they turn up their noses. Wollt kalier gemacht die Luft auf seiner Porizischer Gas, as if he had destroyed or crippled the or tainted, the air of their up their lordly street. Verfallen, too bad. Train müssen machen Hakafas 3/4 You will still have to do turns, circuits around 3/4 of the town. Rab Shmuel Munier is also überbeschrocken, was it is reingefallen zwischen Arenim. Rabbi Shmuel Munier was so upset that he fell in between the Gentiles, als das Bittel Schmechele bricht sich herab von sein Ponem und wird verfallen in sein Wort, that his disdainful smile glides off his face and gets lost in his beard. Wie so ein Strollical zwischen Gedichte, just like a sunbeam between thick bushes. Erst wenn habt sich heraus von die Goyische Gassen, only when he makes his way out of the Gentile streets und kommt hinter zu der Staka Gedola and comes nearer to the central charity place, kriegt sein Horedik Bistul Schmeichele zurückaruf auf sein Ponem. Is very contemptuous smile, contemptuous, comes back onto his face. Wollt sich zeitens verpanzert gegen Rob Levy Goodrich, as if he was armoring himself ahead of time in advance against Rabbi Levy Goodrich. I think my voice is going, so if you don't mind taking over.
Okay. Reb Shmuel Munja versteht nicht, was Reb Levi ist ständig oder in Kass oder weint wie Idene. Reb Shmuel Munja doesn't understand why Reb Levi is always either angry or crying like a woman. Wenn der Lubavitcher Rebbe ist gekommen in Vilna und der Wad HaRabbonim hat ihm abgestattet a Visit, hat sich Reb Levi der Mond, als stammt von Hasidim. So when the Lubavitcher Rebbe came to visit Vilna and the rabbinic council paid him a visit, Reb Levi was reminded that he was connected to or descended from Hasidim und sich voneinander geweint wie a Biber. And he suddenly started weeping, crying his eyes out. Rebbe, gib mir a Bruche, mein Weib und mein einzige Tochter seien krank. So Rebbe, and this is saying to the Lubavitcher Rebbe, please give me a blessing. My wife and my only daughter, both of them are ill. Die Vilna Rabbonim, eiserne Misnagdim, seien geblieben Gepläfte. Amore Hore von Vilna, in Stadt von Vilna Gaon, dem alten Reb Yoseles an Edem und allein a scharfer Landen, der zu a Beiser Jid, soll beten a Broche by a Hasidischen Rebben. So the Vilna rabbis, who are very strict opponents of Hasidim, Mishnagdim, they were left dumbfounded. A rabbi who can make halachic decisions in Vilna, in the city of the Vilna Gaon, and a rabbi who is the old Rebbe Yosele's son-in-law, and himself a very learned man, and also an angry Jew. How is it possible that he should ask for a brocha from a Hasidic rabbi? Endlich der Läufen Reb Shmuel Munja zum Beisdin Stibel in Häuf von der Tzedokah Gedoyle, und ist sicher, als alle warten schon dort auf ihm. So eventually, Reb Shmuel Munja ran up to the courthouse in the yard of the community tzedakah organization, and he was sorry.
I had the translation as Central Charity in
Central Charity Organization, right? And he was certain that everybody would have been waiting for him there. Öffnet hastig die Tür und sieht, als in Beisdin Stibel obenan beim Tisch sitzt bloß ein Reb Levi. So he quickly opened the door, and then he saw that in the courthouse at the top, at the table, there was only one person sitting, and that was Reb Levi. Die andere Chaverim von Wald und der Polotsker Dayan seien noch nicht da. The other members of the committee and the Polotsker judge had not yet arrived. Reb Levi entfert mit a Meruke auf Reb Shmuel Munias Good Morgen und hebt sich kaum etwas unter und hebt sich kaum etwas unter, wie der Din ist, als Talmidei Chachomim dürfen sich stellen, einer von den anderen, für die andere. Reb Levi answered with a grunt to Reb Shmuel Munia's greeting of good morning, and he hardly lifted himself, as according to the law that Talmudic scholars should stand up one for the other. Dabei reißt Reb Levi nicht ob die Augen von einer größten effenten Sefer. And in addition, Reb Levi didn't lift his eyes from this big, open religious book. Sitzt verchmurreter, vermeuchter und verfreurene in Stummenisch. He was sitting sullen, absorbed in thought, and almost frozen in silence. Wie wollt da gesessen noch von Nächten und Eiernächten, as if he had been sitting there from yesterday and the day before. Sein Ponym is ungestrengt steif, und schweigt sehr hartnäckig,
Ja,
kalt und beis, als Reb Shmuel Munya bleiben die Wörter stecken in Kelb. Elahai, sein Zung, hat sich zugeklebt zu verfrorenem Eisen. His face was strained and stiff, and he was stubbornly silent, cold and angry. And Reb Shmuel Munya's words remained sticking in his throat, as though his tongue was stuck to a frozen piece of iron. Reb Shmuel Munya nimmt von Sforim Schenkel a Reus a Shulchan Aruch, und vorbeigehendig warf a Blick in effenem Sefer auf den Tisch. Reb Shmuel Munya took from the bookcase, he took out a Shulchan Aruch, and as he walked past, he threw a glance at the open book, religious book, on the table. Reb Levi Zeter is vertieft in Rambam's Hilches Memrim. He saw that Reb Levi was involved deeply involved in the Rambam's Hilches Memrim, which is the laws about gossip. setzt sich Reb Shmuel Munja weg von der Weitens beim anderen Tisch, blättert dem Schulchan Aruch und klärt dabei. Reb Levi will den Polotsker Dayan reinlegen in Cherem Meise Socken Mamre. So Shmuel Munyer sat himself down on the other side of the other edge of the table, and he paged through the Shulchan Aruch, and he said at the same time, does Reb Levi want to place the Polotsker judge in Cherem, to excommunicate him in this the way of an old gossip? A reinlegen in Cherem is nicht mein Mikzoya. To put somebody in a Cherem that's not my job. Should we carry on a bit?
Sure, why not?
Okay. So we're going on to the Beis Din, the courthouse. Reb Asher Anshel von die Gitten is eigentlich gewinnt mit derselbe Idee, was alle Rabbonim, als der Polotske Dayan hat abgetan an nicht gehörte Sach. Reb Anshel, who was the one who dealt with divorces, actually had the same opinion as all the other rabbis, that the Polotske Dayan had done something which was improper. Von deswegen wollte Reb Asher Anshel abgeben kol hoin de Alma. Soll heint nicht davon gehen in Beis Din Stiebel und dort nicht treffen mit seinem Schwager Reb Levi Horowitz. Nevertheless, Reb Asher Anshel would have given all his worldly wealth that he should not have to go today to the courthouse, and there that he would not have to meet with his brother-in-law, Reb Levi Horowitz. Reb Levi hat sich damit gehalten, weit von seinen Schwagers. Reb Levi always kept himself far away from his brothers-in-law. Und sie von ihm haben sich gehalten noch weiter, and they kept themselves even further away from him. Auf sein Mishpoche, auf a Mishpoche Simcha, wenn es ist kein ander Breire nicht gewesen, wie ihm zu verbeten, und hat kein ander Breire nicht gehabt, wie zu kommen, ist gesessen, a verummerter und a feindlicher. So at a family celebration, when he had no other option than when they had no other option than to invite him, and he had no other option than to come, he would sit gloomy and hostile. Hat geguckt auf seine Plemenitzes, die zierlich, und sei gesifzt, als etlicher hat gekannt Herren und sehen, was in sein Herz kommt vor. He would look at his nieces, the Tzirelach, and he would sigh, give such a sigh that anybody who would hear or see it would know what he was thinking in his heart. In Kaas auf sich allein, was kennt machen kein freiliche Minna, pflegt werden noch verdeigeter und weggehen inmitten der Simcha. And in anger that he himself could not manage to make a happy expression on his face, he would become even more preoccupied and he would leave the celebration in the middle. Sind Reb Levi hat zurückgebracht die Tochter von Spital, ist die Mishpocha gewesen erschrocken, gekränkt. So since Reb Levi had brought his daughter back from the hospital, the family was both frightened and mortified. Etwas hat sich sie nicht geglaubt, als die Kranke ist schön gesund geworden. So they couldn't even believe that this ill girl had had become well. Und es hat sie beleidigt, Halamai, Reb Levi lost nicht zu die Mishpocha zu ihr. And they were insulted that Reb Levi did not allow the family to go to her, to Tzirela. Hat es verstanden, aber viele nicht geprüft sich verentfern und sein Tzirela will keinem nicht sehen. Als sein Tzirela will keinem nicht sehen. He understood this, but he couldn't even try to justify that the fact that his daughter Tzirela didn't want to see anybody. Reb Levi hat bechlal feind gehad, sich zu verentfern. Befrat für sein Weibsmishpocha. Reb Levi really didn't want to have to justify himself or defend himself, especially to his wife's family. Weisman hat Tzirelen wieder zurückgenommen in Spital, seinen ihre Mummes reingefallen zu seiner Bruder Reb Asher Anshel mit verbrochener Hand. As Reb Levi is a Gazlan. And when they took Tzirela back to the hospital, her aunts came into their brother Reb Asher Anshel with verbrochene hand, with
wringing their hands.
Wringing hands. Mit verbrochene hand, that and saying that Reb Levi was a Gazlan, a robber. Wenn lost sie gehen herum der Kranker, wollte sie nicht herausgelaufen kein Nacketer. Had he permitted them to go to the ill girl, she wouldn't have run around naked. Itzt is Cyrilla a verfallene auf ewig. Wie ihr Mama die stille Marascheuris Nitze. So now this Cyrilla is lost forever, like her mother, the quiet, depressive. Die Schwester haben Teines gehabt zum Bruder, Hallemeier schweigt, and the sisters had complaints against their brother that he remained silent. Reb Asher Anshel hat geantwortet seine Schwester, als ihm halt mehr Nähe gewinn, treffen zerreizte Bär, eider iets onheben mit den Schwager. Reb Asher Anshel answered them, his sister answered his sisters, that he would rather meet up with a provoked bear than to start up with his brother-in-law. Reb Levi hat verlangt, als euch Reb Asher Anshel soll sein in Beis Din Stibel bei dem Din Teure mit dem Polotsker Dayen, und von Reb Asher Anshelen ist weg die ganze Ruhigkeit. Reb Levi wanted that Reb Asher Anshel should also be in the courthouse at this court case with the Polotsker Dayan, and Reb Asher Anshel's Ruhigkeit, his whole calmness disappeared. So I think that's a good place to stop.